Hi, it's Lewis Wing, your continuous improvement coach from Flow Plus again. Now that we have learnt more about lean, it's time to learn about continuous improvement. Don't worry if you feel like you are not learning about the tools yet. I can assure you that you will. It's just really important to first understand the concepts before we start learning about the technical tools. By the end of this module, you'll know what continuous improvement really means. You'll appreciate the power of compounding. You'll understand the continuous improvement mindset and be capable of distinguishing between the two different types of continuous improvement. The term continuous improvement comes from the word Kaizen. Kaizen is an ancient Japanese word. It is said to have originated from Japanese samurai who would persistently practice their kata and fighting techniques and sharpen their sword every day, striving to continuously improve both the process, i.e. the fighting technique, and the product, i.e. the sword. In Japanese, the word Kaizen is composed of two words, Kai, which means change, and Zen, which means better. So Kaizen means to change for the better. This definition has evolved and now commonly means continuous improvement. Complacency is the enemy of a Kaizen culture. A Kaizen culture is one where people ask why all the time and they seek new ways to work in a smarter way. A culture where everyone sees improvement as their own responsibility. The founder of the Kaizen Institute describes true Kaizen as being the act of everyone, everywhere, and every day improving within the organization. Kaizen is a mindset shift and a philosophy that may be more prominent in certain cultures compared to others, in certain countries more than others, and certain companies more than others. At the 2018 Football World Cup, Japan had just won their first game against Colombia, when Japanese fans shocked spectators by spending the time to clean up their mess and pick up any litter after the game. Unlike most other fans, where they see it as the responsibility of the stadium staff to clear up after them, the Japanese fans saw it as part of theirs. And although this doesn't directly relate to continuous improvement, I think it demonstrates the cultural mindset and sense of pride that is represented in Kaizen. Taking joint accountability to contribute and make a difference. Before I go on, I would like to point out a common misconception. Hearing stories like the Japanese fans at the World Cup, people often think that all Japanese companies are efficient and mega lean, and people think continuous improvement can't work in other countries because they have different cultures. The truth is that Japanese companies have the exact same problems as every other country. Yes, they do have some of the most lean companies in the world, like Toyota, but they also have their fair share of inefficient companies. And on the reverse side of this, countries that you may think don't naturally have a Kaizen culture also have an incredibly lean and continuous improvement focused companies as well. Continuous improvement is a mindset and can be applied to almost anything, business, personal life, hobbies, etc. The principle remains the same. We often convince ourselves that a change is only meaningful if it's big and recognisable by outsiders. However, that is not the case. If we look at ourselves as an example, I know I've fallen for the trap of setting unrealistic aims and targets, only to burn out way before I get there. Whether you might have a target to lose weight or to build a business, continuous improvement realises that it's more successful to focus on the small steps and develop the right habits. It may sound cheesy, but the journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step, and the lean, continuous improvement journey starts by making a small change, a change for the company in the right direction. The idea of small improvements accumulating to get significant results can be explained through the phenomena of compounding. Compounding was called the eighth wonder of the world by Einstein because of its power. By just improving 1% each day, something that often isn't even noticeable and involves very little change, over the space of a year will achieve huge results. At the beginning, there is basically no difference between making a choice that is 1% better or 1% worse. But as time goes on, these small improvements compound, and you find a very big gap between the companies that have improved 1% per day and the ones that haven't. This idea of compounding is at the heart of continuous improvement and demonstrates exactly how continuous improvement is so powerful. A good way of thinking of continuous improvement is similar to how interest works. Let's imagine you start with $1,000 and over the space of a year, you are able to earn 1% interest each day by investing in the right stocks. So on day one, if you have $1,000 and on day two you have 1,000 plus 1%, so that's $1,010, the day after you'll gain another 1%, so this time 1% of $1,010 and so on. By the end of the year you'd have $37,783, a factor of 37.7 times more than you had at the start of the year. If you then continued increasing by 1% each day for another year, you'd have over $1 million. The exact same compounding principles happen with continuous improvement. Because you are more efficient in one area, you'll improve in another, and then another, and on and on. And that is why it's so important to make these 1% improvements. These 1% improvements form one of the two approaches of continuous improvement, relating to what is called incremental improvement. Incremental improvements are made by these small 1% improvements, and the second approach that is used to complement this is called breakthrough improvement. It's important to understand the difference as they're practically achieved in very different ways. Incremental improvement would be the things like walking to work instead of driving, or cutting out the ice cream that you have once a week. They're not big changes that are going to make you fit overnight, but they will add up and help you get towards your goal. Breakthrough improvements are very different. They are sprint-like efforts that have a focused objective in mind. These improvements expect a step change in performance. With the marathon analogy, this may be something like a 1-week intense fitness camp aimed at improving your endurance. The way these improvements are achieved is often known as Kaizen events. These are focused workshops designed to get rapid breakthrough results. Throughout the course, you'll become familiar with both types of continuous improvement. But for now, that concludes the teachings of this module. Let's recap what we have learned. Continuous improvement originates from Kaizen, which means change for the better. In other words, to improve, you have to change. It's as simple as that. And you continuously change to achieve better results, whether that be improved quality, service, delivery, or perhaps reduced cost. Continuous improvement is so powerful because benefits start to compound, and thousands of small 1% improvements combine to achieve really significant improvements. The continuous improvement mindset is one that questions the norms and doesn't become complacent, always looking to work in a smarter way. Finally, there are two types of continuous improvement: incremental improvements, which are the small 1% improvements, and breakthrough improvements, which is the innovative and sprint-like efforts to achieve rapid change. Continuous improvement combines both of these to improve efficiency. Remember, continuous improvement is a mindset and philosophy that can be applied to all walks of life. The next module of the course is a case study that is optional, and no learning outcomes will be part of the exam, but it does help explain how continuous improvement mindset has been applied to the sport of road cycling to achieve incredible results.